Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm the Mad Hatter. Welcome to Mad Hatter Radio, reporting live from the event Horizon. In this go around, I want to talk about this article by Essence Magazine called Real Talk Are White Men the Answer? And it is by Demetria Lucas. She's the author of this. It's more of a blog. It's got some facts in there, but it's more of a blog. And she brings up some really interesting points, but I do want to start off by saying that I do think that the headline is a little inflammatory. White men are the answer. White men might be the answer for you or for a specific person, but the answer overall, I don't think so. I mean, I'm not going to say that. If you think that white men are the answer, maybe, but I'm not going to say that. I think that whoever is right for you is the answer. And I also want to preface this by saying that, first off, I'm a proponent in everybody choosing whoever the hell they want to be with in their life. Like, I do believe in strong black relationships because I think we need to see more of that and we need to strengthen the black community. But I am totally okay with people opening up their horizons, especially black women who, but because most black women are very conservative in many ways, and black women tend to only date black men, but not just that, one type of black man. So I think that if black women can go out there and see how other types of men think, that might allow them to open up their horizon even within the black community. So I'm totally okay with that. So let's just preface this by that. But in this article, I did find some things that I disagree with and I think that are a little bit disingenuous. So the author talks about for the high percentage of black women who are single, that you can't just blame it, or she says that you can't blame at all expectations, attitude, or weight. And I think that it's interesting that she brings that up because this is what has been said about black women, is that black women have very high expectations. And I would say not necessarily high expectations, but it's a very Western expectation. It's a very Western mentality. So you're going to get certain things that come along with that. Black women have been, people have discussed black women's attitude and weight. So she says that you can't blame that. You have to blame the social factors that have led to the socioeconomic factors that have led to there being so few black men to choose from. But I say you can blame both. You can blame how black women are traditionally, and you can also blame those social factors that have incarcerated and lowered the numbers of eligibility for black men. I think that you can blame both of those. And my thing to black women, though, is also if you think that a white guy is going to put up with certain things that a black guy won't, you're going to be highly disappointed. I mean, the things that the things that white guys make their wives do, and the women that are in their lives. Like, I hang out with white guys. I hang out with everybody, but I have a lot of white friends, obviously, because like this article says, like the higher it goes the opposite for black men. Same thing applies. The higher I move in my career, the fewer and fewer amount of black women that I see. But it doesn't mean that I'm only going to date black men or white women, or that I think that white women are the answer. Anyway, white dudes are not going to put up with those things that I just mentioned coming from black women. So black women are going to be in for a big surprise. And then the article goes on to say that black women have less in common with black men who are typically UPS drivers than they do white men who was probably sitting in your history class. So I disagree with that statement. I think that, okay, maybe because there's more white guys in college, that black women who are high achievers are going to see more white men. But to say that like black men are just like we're only UPS drivers, first off, why is it, that's not even a bad thing. Like if he's working and he's got a full-time job, why is that even a bad thing? Right? It's like it actually so my thing is like, yeah, why is that even a bad thing? But before I even get into that, I want to talk about what black women have in common with white men. Is what they're saying. That there's more in common between black black women and white men than black women and black men. Man, I'm gonna trip up on this the whole time. So I'm gonna say that one more time. The article is saying that black women have more in common with white men than they do with black men. So my thing is like, what? Are we just talking about the money? So you think that a white guy is gonna, you know, just let you in his life? And you know how like white people, let's be honest, white people do have more money. They have old money. You think a white guy is gonna allow a black woman to get into his life and then just like dole out money to her? Like, I don't think that you understand how this white supremacy thing works. But again, to each its own. I'm not saying that all white people are like that, but there is a large segment of white people who are going to be very timid when it comes to sharing money with a black woman. So definitely be aware of that. But my thing is like, again, why is money the motivating factor? Why is that the motivating factor? Like that goes back to my whole thing about how black women have become very Western in their way of thinking. And actually, UPS makes bank. Like a UPS driver makes some good money. But my thing is like, it's not the money that black women are really talking about, or this writer of this blog is really talking about. What is really saying, and it lets me know that black women are really obsessed with the lifestyle. You know, they want the lifestyle. They don't necessarily want. It's not about money or what type of man you are, or if you're even a man as a black man. It tells me a little bit more that they want that lifestyle. And there's more educated black men than any other time in history. So if you're having a hard time finding an educated black man, it doesn't mean that they're not there. It just means that you just don't want that man. You know, you're going after somebody else. But you can't say that the pool is not big. The pool is not large to choose from. It's just that women are picky, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you're picky, so just understand that. Some things that I do agree with. Well, actually, before I even get into that, I want to talk about one more thing that I disagree with about this article. Is that they say that whites have similar accomplishments. Again, going back to the point earlier that white men have similar accomplishments to black women. And my thing is like, just what is that? Like running a company, you know, what? Like you want to be a CEO? Are you buying into this white female idea of what feminism is to be more like a man? Because I'm gonna let you know the reason why a lot of black men liked black women. I'm not gonna say liked, but I'm talking about back in the past, like the type of black woman that was in the past. The reason why black men were into that is because they acted like women. Like they weren't trying to be like men, which is my problem with a lot of this white version of what feminism is supposed to be. So black women don't get co-opted by what white women want you to be. Excuse me, what white women want you to be. Because this battle for feminism is really between the white woman and the white man. Because they both were, I forgot what comedian said this, but they're both in on the same heist. She just wants her cut. But don't think that she's actually looking out for you as a woman of color. But, so let's talk about some things I do agree with. I think that black women, they say that black women can promote black marriage by dating others. And it's kind of what I said earlier. Like, if black women have successful relationships with people outside their race, that's going to show people of other races that black people, that, you know, we're normal just like everybody else, right? That's what that's going to show. And I think that's really important. So it is, yeah. Go out there and do your thing. Do your thing, girl. Like, I'm totally for that, right? Um, they also say that black men tend to make black women an option. I say that I tend to agree with that. I can tend to agree with that. I do see a lot of black men who don't take their black woman uh, seriously. They don't. They're not loyal, and they don't respect her loyalty. And I do see that. But my thing is like, why is it so easy for black men to find side chicks? Like, if the market's not there, you know, then it's not. Black men aren't going to be in that market. So it's also, I'm not taking away the onus from black men, but there is some responsibility that black women have to take, and they have to ask themselves, why are they lowering themselves to such a standard where they can be taken advantage of in these type of ways. So overall, I want to leave it like this. Again, kind of like with the whole like white version of feminism, uh, a lot of black women think that by doing typical traditional roles that men did, that they'll attract a man. But those are the things that you want in a man. Those aren't the things that we want in a woman. So don't project that outward. Be very careful with that. And then, you know, again, women are picky by nature, and that's supposed to be because you guys have to deal with the consequences of sex in a sexual relationship. If something happens, you have to deal with that baby, that consequence. But just don't let the pickiness get out of hand. That's all I'm saying. You can have high expectations, but at the same time, you do need to look at yourself. And I know I'm really talking to a wall on this one because I've seen a lot of people say what I say, and other people like I know black women say that like, oh, I'm not lowering my expectation. I'm not settling. Ain't nobody saying about settling, but when you get to a certain age, if you're 30, 35, let's be honest, men are not looking at you to start a life with. So you have to lower your standards a little bit. We all do to a certain extent. Yes, you're a queen, you are sister girl, you are an empress, but at the same time, even the queen didn't get everything she wanted. So I'm gonna leave that there. I really appreciate y'all listening to me. I know this ran on kind of long, but as always, thanks again, and as always, stay woke.